coaching this generation's real estate superstars. Harris Real Estate University.
It says the true purpose of financial wealth is to finance the material foundation necessary for you to achieve your personal mission in your life. So I can't decide what Denise's personal mission is. She can't decide mine. It's all our own personal mission. But it says the same thing, really. That's what our business is to do, is to fund whatever that looks like. And a financially wealthy person is someone who has accumulated the wealth necessary to become self-actualized and achieve their personal life mission, whatever their personal life mission is. But we got to figure out what that mission is before we can decide how much we need to fund it by. Okay, so look at the next page, and it says your financial goal. How many of you had said you'd read Rich Dad Poor Dad or Cash Flow Quadrant? Okay, it's one of my favorite books. I just was telling Tim earlier, I went back and reread it because when I read it the first time, I got a lot of it, but I wasn't the person that was ready for all of it. Have you ever done that, where you read a book? And I remembered there were a couple of key things that he talks about in those books that didn't make a lot of sense to me. One of them was toll booths, but by the way, I got toll booths since then and got one. And then the second one he talks about, if you remember the book, is being the bank. Anybody remember that part? So I had never got my arms around and accomplished that. So I went back, and the only thing I highlighted in the whole book was anything that we had not accomplished. There's very little that's highlighted. That's the beautiful thing. But the key is there were certain things that I truly wasn't ready to hear or to get or to grasp. I wasn't the person that was ready for those type of opportunities. Obviously, I needed to grow and learn or do something else. And so I love Rich Dad Poor Dad Cash Flow Quadrant. We play cash flow at my house all the time. My children understand the difference between an asset and a liability. They hate it, but they know the difference. And so I'm really fond of all of his training. And this kind of came from one of his courses. It says, always focus on your personal income statement as well as your balance sheet. Don't just fixate on net worth. You should always be watching your income, expenses, and cash flow. Build a future personal budget to let you know how much cash flow you will need to finance your life without having to work. And the goal is to grow your financial wealth so your assets can be turned into larger and larger streams of what? Unearned income. So what's the difference between earned and unearned? Who knows the difference? What's the difference between earned and unearned?
Unearned is passive income.
Unearned is passive. You could be sleeping and it's coming in. It's not dependent on you. You know, the beautiful thing about owning businesses is you can go away for 6 months or a year and they can actually be doing better when you're gone than when you come back. In real estate, the max I could be gone was 2 weeks, and I can bet you I'm going to be working from can to can't when I come back after those 2 weeks to put deals back together that people let fall through the cracks because they were dependent on me. When I begin to get people that could handle those deals, that's different. So the difference is one of them is not dependent on you at all. The other one is totally dependent on you. So this is a continual cycle of asset growth and conversion to cash flow. Note that once your future personal budget is funded through unearned income, you may decide to keep future assets and not convert those to cash flow. But here's the main truth down at the bottom. Cash flow and net worth are not the same. And by the way, cash flow and wealth are not the same thing. I don't know how many of you that's a big aha for, but for me, because I was chasing the people that were up on the panels doing 50 deals, 100 deals, 200 deals, I can't even tell you most of their names now. I don't even know where they are. I haven't seen them in the business in years. All of a sudden you look up and go, wait a minute, where are those guys I was chasing? Now I'm doing as many transactions to them, but I can't find them. I can't see them. They're gone. What happened to them? And the bottom line is most of them burn out. They just quit. They went and did other things, or they took up their last sign and they went home. And so the reality is you know, it's not the same thing. And the sooner we understand that, see, I kept thinking 50 more houses would fix all of my problems. And if 50 didn't, 100 for sure would. But what's the problem? What does selling more houses get me? More money. So it doesn't stop there. I just now need to, and see, the money's not the end-all solution, is it? It's what you now take and do with that money to create some assets that'll throw off some unearned income. So for me, it was a huge aha to realize that, guess what? I'm not getting wealthy by selling 200 houses a year, or 300, or 400, or 600. I'm getting richer, but I'm not getting wealthy. And the key is wealth. Why is the key wealth? What comes with wealth? Freedom. That's what comes with wealth, is freedom.